Now, I know you were born in New York, but you grew up in Connecticut,
Yeah.
and that's where you started doing music. So then, since you've been in New York, how has the music scene impacted your musical development?
Well, even though I grew up in Connecticut, where I lived in Connecticut was only about 45 minutes away from Manhattan. And Connecticut, where I grew up, is very conservative and very Caucasian and very suburban. So when I was growing up, every chance I had to go into New York, I did. And what I found really inspiring about the New York music scene when I was growing up, and even now, is it's sort of like its eclecticism and its multiculturalism. You know, it's like you would go to nightclubs in New York and you'd hear all these different types of music played right next to each other, and I found that to be really inspiring.
Is it true that Alice started out as a mistake?
Yeah, there's a song on the record called Alice, or actually there are two versions. There's an English version and a French version. And the French version, unfortunately my French is really bad, I apologize. It's called Le Même Nuit.
Yes.
And originally the song is sort of based around a bass line that started with a broken piece of equipment. And one of the things that I love about electronic music is you can make mistakes that actually sound better than what you're trying to do. You know, and you can use electronic equipment to make something very precise and crafted, or you can just sort of enjoy the chaos of it. So the song Alice started out with this broken piece of equipment that ended up creating this bass line.
Alice is probably the top hit single from that album. It seems like unmistakably it. Why is it an obvious choice?
It's weird. See, I know nothing about picking singles. Some of the most successful singles I've ever had are songs that I didn't think anyone would ever like. Like on the album Play, one of the more successful songs was the song Porcelain. And originally, I thought this was this weird, obscure song that I didn't even want to put on the record. And my managers and my friends said, no, it's actually a nice song. You should put it on there. And so the song Alice, basically I just picked it as a single because I liked it. And I'm amazed, like I heard that some people at radio are actually playing it. And that completely surprises me because it's such a weird song. But I guess I'm grateful that people seem to like it.
Yeah, I heard it. I liked it.
Thanks.
The cover of the album, These Glamorous Girls, why not include yourself?
Well, in making this dance music record, I wanted to make a record that to me felt like a night out in New York. And so a lot of dance music in New York was inspired by the disco era. And I have this weird fascination with the disco era because it was like hedonism without consequences. It was pre-AIDS and pre-HIV and pre-crack, and it seemed like the late 70s, it was like people thought they could be completely debauched and degenerate and hedonistic without any sense of consequence, and especially in New York, that created a very sort of like glamorous libertine environment, and so I kind of wanted to reflect that in the record. And also, I'm a 42-year-old bald guy, and I'd much rather look at like glamorous people on a record cover than me. And I've been on a lot of my record covers, so I thought, like, why not put some other people on there? And I was also sort of inspired by the early Roxy Music album covers, because Roxy Music, up until I guess like their sixth record, had never actually appeared on one of their record covers. They always put, glamorous people on the cover.
Yeah.
I love the cover for Last Night, and I'm happy with the way it came out. My only regret is there isn't a boy on the cover.
Okay.
There is, if you go in the album art,
Yeah.
there's a shirtless boy inside, but on the album cover I kind of wish that there had been sexy ladies and sexy boys on the cover as well.